Good afternoon again from Yami BTV, just before I go out for the day and evening. More dramatic news coming in from HMP PARC prison, which is in Wales Bridgend, and it's a G4s run by the private sector. Now, we reported on Yami BTV about a number of deaths there over the last year or two. Some related to drugs, right, where staff have been arrested. Well, a couple have for bringing stuff in, and probably one of those sheets of paper with spice on it probably killed a few people as well. And remember, there was a couple of other suspicious deaths that wasn't drug related, so we hear, right? So we know the governor's had a tough job on his hand, and what we realise with the private sector is underpaid staff that don't get a lot, often normally doesn't bring around the right kind of staff, if you get what I mean. Now, we find out in the last hour that 4 members of staff at the same prison have been arrested for assaulting prisoners, beating them up, and misconduct in a prison environment, right? So on top of the deaths, the drugs, right, which we would have thought it's probably the most deaths in one prison that there's ever been in, right, the park. Now we find out that they can't even manage their staff properly, because if the police are coming in and they have been suspended and they're under investigation, this really sets the cat amongst the pigeons with this G4s thing. It's not the only place. I know it's the only G4s private jail in Wales, but it would seem that the loss of control by the governor, by the Park prison in itself, to know that you had a lot of deaths on your hands, staff being arrested for drugs or bringing stuff in, affairs with inmates, and now the brutality of staff taking advantage of their power with inmates. We call today from Yami TV for an urgent inquiry into the Park prison. It hasn't worked out. We are calling for it to be closed, actually, right? Because there's been too much going on there the last year or two, and now today we find out that now it gets even worse. Reporting from Yami BTV, I'll be up later on.